maybe we're dealing with interdimensional travel. Okay, that's more interesting because the Bible appears to touch on this notion, right? Okay, Christians in the audience.
This is why you should leave the interpretation of the Bible to priests and bishops and the Pope, okay? The church structure as a whole. Because not everybody is mentally equipped and they get one-shotted by Scripture. They believe every single word, word for word. And they don't sit and let it marinate. Perhaps this could be a parable. Perhaps this is a lesson. Perhaps there are themes and motifs that I could draw upon and use and relate to my own life. But no.
Here's a question for you. Where is heaven located? If you look at the creation account in Genesis.
Protestant identified opinion rejected. Yep.
And you sort of, reflect on what we know about science. Well, then clearly God created the universe at a finite moment in the past. This means that space and time and matter, all these things came into existence at some point. And if you rewind time enough down to the moment of creation, what you have before creation, if I can use those words to make sense of that moment, what that is an environment outside of space, time, and matter. To the best of our knowledge, to me, this is another dimension.
He goes on to point out that in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, the Apostle Paul, who's writing the church in Ephesus, kind of alludes to this fairly clearly in verse 12. He says, we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. That there is an unseen world that is happening. And is it possible that spirits coming from the unseen world are able to impact different parts of history from a different dimension into our dimension? Well, I would argue yes. I would argue just like...
How do you deduce that? How do you come to that conclusion off of that one passage?